Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since we've done a review of any kind, but today we're going to be talking about the second Spider-Man animated movie, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Now, for all of you who watched the first movie, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, you probably remember it for the dynamic comic book look and style, the good writing, the compelling characters, and the interesting story arcs and backstories with all of them. Now, after watching this sequel, the main thing that remains present is the visual style and the voice actors, unfortunately. And instead of meeting 4 to 6 new members of the Spider-Verse and getting to know them, we're mainly focusing on the current day events of Miles Morales from Earth 1610 and Gwen Stacy from Earth 65. Now don't get me wrong, we definitely get some outstanding new performances from Daniel Kaluuya as Spider-Punk and even Issa Rae as Spider-Woman. But overall, the 2-hour runtime of the movie feels like set up for something that never actually happens. Now, I did notice a couple things about the film that I felt could have been done a little bit differently. First, a lot of the negative things that Miles was going through, thinking, and experiencing in the first movie, they're still present. However, instead of him thinking them, it's actually Spider-Man 2099, who's voiced by Oscar Isaac, reminding him he's not good enough to be Spider-Man. Now, the second thing was the plot was kind of slow and predictable. None of the scenes really surprised me. It felt like you knew what was going to happen, and on top of that, if you watched any of the trailers, it kind of felt like you were just expecting everything almost. Now, I'm gonna say this one carefully. I can't lie to you guys. I almost want to say the movie in and of itself was a bait and switch, but I'm honestly not sure what I was expecting going into the movie. One thing I can say was the cliffhanger ending that they gave us was definitely a little bit. And lastly, and I think this is probably one of the hardest things about this film, is that there's almost no sense of danger throughout the entire thing, other than 1 or 2 scenes. Since Miles is already Spider-Man, you're never actually scared of anything happening to him. Now, the film wasn't all bad. There was definitely tons of Easter eggs and fan service I really appreciated. First, the references to the total amount of Spider-Man that were in this movie from the Spider-Verse were crazy. I saw Spectacular Spider-Man from the animated TV show, Insomniac, Marvel Spider-Man, Superior Spider-Man from the comic book, Spider-Man Unlimited from the 1990s show. So there were tons of things that kept you going and kept you interesting throughout the movie. Overall, though, I would have to give the movie a 6.5 out of 10. The movie wasn't bad, but after the first one, my expectations were way higher. Even though I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to expect. The pacing is where the movie really takes a hit. For everyone's favorite Marvel character, it felt limiting because unlike the first film where we got to see multiple spider people in the Spider-Verse, in this movie we only really got to see Miles and Gwen. We do get to see a bit of 2099 and other ones, but it's not to the same extent as it was in the first film. The premise and the main conflict of the movie, however, they do feel very Spider-Man-ish in terms of how he views ethical problems and the ethos of the character. But in terms of final reviews, apparently we're going to have to wait until the third part of the film, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, releases on March 29th, 2024. So we'll have to wait until then before we give our final ratings. I'm not gonna lie, if that film, the last part, is a 10 out of 10, it'll definitely increase the rating for this movie, but not by too much, just due to overall how badly the time was used. Now, those were my thoughts on Across the Spider-Verse. Tell me what you guys thought of it in the comments, and I appreciate you guys making it so far. Catch you guys on the next video.